Hello friends, this is Barb Ryder, Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I thought I would bring you along and share my creations for a swap that I was recently in. This is the new Prayers and Promises sentiment that is from our January to March mini catalog. Oh, excuse me, January to April mini catalog. And in here we have several of the products that I'm going to be using today. So let's get started. We're going to be needing our trimmer for this project. But let me show you the other items that we have that we're creating that are new starting in January. So this is a $1 Million Achiever stamp set by Carol Nordquist. Has a lot of more of the religious type of sentiments in it, I guess. And a scripture verse, let's see, just one scripture verse, I guess. Anyway, new packaging, I'm sure you're all getting used to that. Again, you have polymer stamps, and they're on the harder piece of acetate, and then you have the flimsy that will protect the other side. So got that, so I'm done with that part. For this card, we are going to be using the Days Like This Memories and More card pack. Now, I've already used several of these, excuse me, several of these, but we're specifically I'm going to show you how to use these to create card layouts. I'm going to be using these two pieces here, and we'll be using those with our trimmer. But in this package, again, I have already used several, but let me show you what's left here. Lots and lots of options that you can do. But this is made so that you can create scrapbook pages or you know, use them for cards, whatever you want. I decided to use them for cards. There's some little butterflies at the bottom there. Then here you are for scrapbooking. And you get, I think, 5 of each design in the Memories and More packet. And here is just another enhanced, like, background piece that you could use. And then here are some more of the 6x4s that you can use, and I'll be using this one on the second card, so I've got 2 cards to share with you. All right, let me get these out of the way. And then we are also going to be using the antique pearls on the project. This beautiful pattern embossing folder. This is an online exclusive, but you can see the design there. And then we're also using the textured note dies. We're using the smallest rectangle. So those are the products that we're going to be using. So I'm going to just set them aside for now. And then let's go ahead and cut our cardstock. So what we're going to do, let me find my sample. Oh, this is the card we're going to create. Okay. Another product that we're using is the new Balmy Blue gingham ribbon, which is really fabulous. And then, of course, the Tuxedo Black, we're going to be stamping with that. And then our cardstocks, and I'll show you those as we go. So what I need for this layout is I need a piece of 5 by 1 inch, and that's how I can maximize what I'm getting out of this. So first of all, let's go ahead and bring this trimmer over here. First thing I'm going to do is cut this at 5 inches. The reason I know it's 5 is because I have my piece right here. So 5 by 3 3/4, and we're going to use it against the embossing. So go to the 5-inch mark. We're just going to now maybe yeah, I do. I want to cut this off. So there's just an extra piece that's a 1 inch by 4. And then I'm going to turn this, and I need 1-inch pieces. I have a few other swaps to finish, but for this demonstration I'm just gonna make one of the cards. So let's see, one, and this will give me 4 cards because it was 4 inches wide. And so let's go over to the one, and then we're just gonna cut that in the middle because that gives us our 2 1-inch pieces. Okay. So we just need one of these, and then on the butterfly piece, this is going to be, let's see, 1 and 1.5 inches by 4 inches. 1.5 by 4, and that's how I was able to maximize this piece right here. So it's already 4, so I'm just going to go 1.5 inch on each one. So now I'm just going to cut 1.5 on this side. So 1.5, 1.5, and 1.5. So there I get 4 pieces out of that one memory card to create 4 layouts. Okay? Alright, so there we have our cutouts. I already have them cut out right here, and all the other pieces that I need. We have basic white, actually it's thick basic white, 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. Okay, and then we have our 3 3/4 by 5, and let me see, there you can see the embossing, and that's balmy blue. And then these are the 2 pieces that we just cut along with the smallest rectangle. So let me grab just the rubber mat. I have the word sending love and our tuxedo black ink. We're going to stamp that onto our little rectangle here. Okay, sending love, kind of just in the middle, just like that. And then that's all the stamping that there is. Now there's sentiments in that stamp set you could put on the inside. Because this is a swap, I'm not going to put anything on the inside. That way they can send it for whatever. Get well, thinking of you, hope you you know, have a great day, all the things. So I'm just going to do the sentiment on the front. So let's go ahead and just put our pieces together. And grab my adhesive over here. So I'm going to go ahead, and first thing I'm going to do is put down the yellow, and that's the, I should have showed you the back side, but yeah, that's the back side of the butterflies. And then this one had lines. Okay, and I'm going to put about 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch from this edge. Okay, just like that. Push that down well. Make sure you're right side up on your butterflies, because easy to put them upside down. Okay, and then this is going to go about right there. Looks pretty straight. And then before we put our sentiment on here, we're going to do this little faux bow behind our sentiment. So I'm just taking my ribbon, just wrapping it around, and then I'm going to go on the top and come back around like so. And see how that just makes like a fake bow? That's what we're looking for. And that's going to fit kind of at an angle, just like that. Let me grab my ribbon scissors over here. Now, if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be yours and be able to provide you with all these great projects. I have a monthly blessing box that is like a card club that you can sign up for. Everything is available in the link that's in the description of this video. I'm looking for my tape. I like to use regular tape to hold this down on the back, just like that. Now if your tape is a little bit wider than your sentiment, just clip off the corners, but that's what we need right there. And now I'm going to use some dimensionals and pop this up. And I am actually working on using the outside edges of a package of dimensionals here, and I'm just going to go on the sides. There's a little bit of bulk in the middle, so I'm just going to go with 2 on the side here. I would love to have a thumbs up if you like what you're seeing, along with subscribing to my channel. With the new catalogs coming out, I am looking to create more videos, as I'm not always to go live just because of life circumstances. Seems like every time I get things set that I can start consistently going live, life happens and I can't do it. And so bringing the videos to you this way, I can still give you some great stuff. Alright, here is our top layer. So this is basically done, and this is going to get mounted to the front of our card base. Now you saw me cut a little sliver off here. That's because it was a little sliver longer than my base here, and I see there's a little sliver on this end too. So anyway, let's just cut that sliver off so that it's not sticking out. I mean, it's just, look at, that's how little the sliver is. Okay, and then our card is almost done. Just center that into the front. This is a great layout to use designer paper or other Memories and More cards. Just a great way to, a great layout, I guess, is the right thing. So now let's just add a little of our few gems here. Let me grab those. And these kind of take on a little bit of a yellow hue when I put them on here. So that's what made me kind of go towards these. And they're kind of flat, which is also pretty awesome. So let's put one right there. And let's grab a small one to go right here, and then another kind of medium to go here, just like that. And there is card number 1, and that's using the Memories and More packet that's coming out as I'm creating the video. It's already out by the time you see this video, but there is card number 1. Isn't that pretty? I think it turned out great. Okay, card number 2, we are actually going to use a couple other products. We're going to be using the Everyday Arches dies, and then our Baker's Twine Essential Pack. So let me just grab the white out of here. We're going to be using the white. We're still going to be using the Memento. Now let me show you some other samples from the Memories and More card. Now here are samples of what I've created. So this is one of the Memories and More cards, and this is another one. That's just a full card, okay? The one that we're going to be using today in this card is to create as many as I needed, I had to come up with another design. So I use this design, and I'm cutting these in 2-inch strips because this is 6 inches. I can get 3 out of this out of this Memory and More card. So let's go ahead and cut this down to 3 2-inch strips, and it's 4 inches, and that's what I need. So 1 and 2 and 3. So there we are. There is our 3 pieces that we need, and I actually do. Here's what we're going to have here, and let's go with that. All right. And that's all we need for the cutting. I have everything else already cut. So again, this is just another Memory and More. I did use the embossing folder again on this card. I used the smallest arch die. And then this paper, I did not pull it over here. It is an online, and it's, I think there are 3 sheets of each design that's in the paper. Goodness, I don't have it right by me. So maybe I'll list it in the description. You have Pool Party, and this is already scored, but this size is, it's kind of a fun fold, I guess, 7.5 by 5.5, and this is scored at 3.25. Okay, so 3.25. That means that our designer paper, 3 inches by 5.25. I have a piece of basic white for the inside, 5.5 by 3.25. And then this is a strip that's 1 inch by 5.5. And then I've already, and this is Lemon Lolly, and I've already pre-cut my Lemon Lolly to go over behind my design. So 2 1/8 by 4 1/8. Okay, so that's our measurements for the cardstock. Let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. This sentiment is a little more wordy, and it says, may you feel God's care and healing as you recover. So this is kind of a get well card. And so this is just going to get stamped right there. Okay. And let's go ahead. You want to leave a little space on the left because that's where we're going to put our twine. So there is that. And let's go ahead and clean this off the polymer stamps. There we go. Alright, now let's put everything together. Like I said, it's not a lot of stamping, but these are perfect layouts to use anytime. Designer paper, Memories and More cards. These Memory and More cards actually are pretty creative in using them so many different ways. So I have 1/8 inch all the way around. That really gives it a nice little pop to the yellow. Now, putting this together, excuse me, we are going to go ahead and put the white down first, our basic white. Hopefully it won't run out. I see that, yep, I'm running out. So, guess what? I've got to get some more adhesive. Figures, just as you're making a video, I was thinking I had more. Then now listen, I just opened this up. If you get these little glue goobies in there, clean them off before you put a new adhesive in there so that you don't mess up your adhesive. Okay, so let me just grab one down here. I keep a supply on hand because I have it when I'm ready to make things, and I have it on hand as cash and carry for my customers when they come to my classes. So there we go. Now a lot of times I'll just lay it down like this, and I'll take the side that has the tabs, and I'll just put that right in the holes, pick that up, and place the other side. And we're ready to move on. Alright, this piece of white is going to go right up to your score line, okay? So make sure you're right up to the score line. And I see that I've got this is a sliver too long at the top. So just make sure you're closing, okay? And there we go. So next thing, I'm going to go ahead and put this on, then I'll trim off that excess on the top. I love this embossing folder. Now it will overlap a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. Okay, just like that. All right, that's gonna be the inside, but look at that. Isn't that cute? All right, you will want to use your bone folder to, you know, really burnish the edge here so your card stays down, just like that. Let's go ahead and cut off this excess. See that? Let's get that out of the way. I hope that you'll try these layouts, whether you use designer paper or you use Memory and More cards. It all works. But I wanted, the swap is for anything in the new mini catalog or online exclusives, and so I wanted to use the Memory and More. Alright, so here is our designer paper. Let's go ahead and get that on the front of our card. That's going to fit right here, having a little bit of a pool party edge all the way around, just like that. And then next, this is going to go here. But what we want to do is we want to make sure that when we put this down, this is going to come up about right here. And I want to come over onto the yellow a little bit just to give it a nice little interest. So that's about where I want it. And I am going to pop this up. So I'm going to just keep my fingers right here. I know where to put my dimensionals. Just a fun tip. So I'm going to put one right here. And oh, that one's too long. Let me grab a smaller piece here. There we go. There we are. Just like that. Okay? And then I'm going to put my sentiment down. About right there. Okay, just like that. Now, no adhesive here because you don't want that because this is going to open up, see? Alright, this is going to go flat. This is a nice flat card to put in the mail, unless you go crazy with your knot or your little bow that we're going to put on next. Alright, so should I come over here a little bit? There we go. Let's go about right there, just like that. Very pretty. Okay. Next, we are going with our twine and making a bow. And I want the bow to come down a little long on the tails to hang down into the space. So there's my bow. I'm just going to adjust it to be a little bit smaller loops there. Okay, come on over there. We go. Just like that. Let me see if I can cut this pretty well. These are my paper scissors, and so wasn't sure if they would cut well. You also need mini glue dots, and the best way that I have found to use these for my little pieces like this is I take my nail and I get this little dimensional started here, and then I just kind of roll it in a tube. So my finger there, whoop, a little too close. There we go. You can see it a little better. Anyway, and then I'm going to put this bow right over here on this corner, top corner, like that. My bow will go right here, so I'm not covering up my words. But see how it hangs down and it looks so pretty? Just kind of fun hanging down. And that, no gems on this one. So, like I said, this is a great card you can mail. This is not really sticking up too far, but there is kind of an easy different fold with that card. So those are the two ideas I have using the Memories and More packet. Let me grab the other card here. I put it over here, and where are you? I put it, oh, here, underneath. Goodness gracious. Okay, there we are. There are the two cards that I did for my swap, and I just thought I would bring you along to finish out the last couple and show you a little tip on those Memory and More packets. And if you need anything, please let me know. Right here's my website. You can contact me with the email or phone number there. I appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. I hope you have a great rest of your day or evening, and join me next time. Bye-bye.